I actually worked, it was probably about, I guess it's 4 years ago now, I started what became about a 2-year run with a performance coach who helped me kind of create some boundaries. And not just, what's interesting is not just the Sabbath, but the way we talk about it. And the idea wasn't original to him, but is to work in such a way that you don't need a vacation. Because I would always be like, I need a vacation, or I need the day off.
Yeah.
And so to try to create the rhythms that are sustainable.
Yeah.
And so there's some different mindsets that I have. One of them, it always was rest at the end of what he calls a work sprint or a work storm. And now it's rest before. So it's a real unusual idea. But like if you look at Scripture, a lot of people say that God, that there's rest first and then there's work. Most of us think there's work, then there's rest. So to think about resting before the storm and resting afterwards, it was after for me. And then just honestly, I'll take more extended time off. So I probably work longer, more intense stretches than most people would, but then I'll take more time off in blocks that are super helpful.
And this has been kind of a journey you've been on for the last 4 years.
Yes.
What kind of practices have you put into place to have you learned this over those 4 years?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Those who are listening or even watching wouldn't notice that my assistant is sitting nearby, which is great accountability, so I can't overbrag because she would say, she'd say, wait a minute. So the real answer is I do a lot better today than in the past, and I will try to guard a day off. In the past, I used to preach on Saturday and Sunday every week and try to take Friday off. Friday, things would creep into it. So what I do now is I actually preach on Saturday only. And so I have Friday, which is a generally guarded day, and Sunday, which is a new day that doesn't have general responsibility. And so I'll make sure to try to guard one of those days, sometimes both. And then sometimes I'll do something that may be considered like work to most people, but it's actually refreshing to me. So the interesting thing that I've learned is that there are some types of work that are draining and some types that are replenishing. For example, if on Sunday I'm off and I talk about how do you know if someone's a pilot? They'll tell you it's kind of a joke. And so I got my pilot's license. I talk about it all the time because I'm really proud because I was scared to death and now I can fly. And I'll go with my friend who owns a plane and we'll fly and see one of our Life Church locations. And if I go and spend an hour there, that's technically work. It is the most replenishing thing to me.
Yeah.
It's like drinking living water because I get to interact with people somewhere else and see what's happening there. And that would be a day
And you get to fly there.
And I get to fly there. It's fun.
That?
I'm with a friend that I like, and then I go get to spend an hour talking to people and hearing stories. And so is that work or is it not? Technically, you could probably say it is, but that's replenishing to me.
Yeah.
So I've learned to say that there are types of work I just cannot do on a Sabbath.
Yeah.
And there might be something else I would do that I would enjoy. Another thing that I learned was really helpful to me is if I'd take a week off with Amy. And she's like, you can't work. And my counselor helped us see if I do an hour's worth in the morning of responding to something, what it does is it gives me permission to enjoy the rest of the day. So that really was a different way of thinking about it. Like if you just, not everybody can do that, but for me, I handle a few things, then the rest of the next 10 hours I enjoy, whereas if I don't handle those few things, I feel a weight all day long.
Yeah.
So bottom line is what you want to do is you want to find your rhythms at work. Everybody's different. The Sabbath is a spiritual principle that we should pay really close attention to. It doesn't have to be on the exact day. It doesn't have to be doing the same thing. But we do want to honor that. And then, well beyond that, we will look at the ongoing rhythms. When do you work during the work week? What type of work are you doing? When are you at your best doing those different types of things? Those matter a lot. So we're not just managing our workflow, but we're managing our energy.
Yeah.
It's super important.